Did you see the David Lucas
Yeah, I did.
controversy
I
that's
watched
been going
that
on
last night.
Yeah.
I fucking love David Lucas, by the way. And
Hilarious,
Can somebody fill me in on this a little bit?
For the audience and for Danny, it's basically he's on stage, he starts cracking some George Floyd jokes, and kind of saying like one of the bars that he dropped was like, if it was me, I would have never knelt on his neck like that. If it was me, I would have shot him.
Right.
But he said it funnier than I just made it sound. He's just a bunch of stuff that's kind of poking at the George Floyd thing.
Yeah.
Literally, you can't see the crowd, but you could see that like a lot of black people start leaving the fucking audience, and a lot of them yell up at him and let him know, like, I came here for a good time, you fucked it up. Like they were deeply upset about the jokes that he was making about that.
But the interesting thing was, I'm watching this video. And I'm like, well, this is the outrage. Okay, I'm going to watch this video because David's my friend, and I was looking at it, and I'm watching, and David Lucas posted this fucking video. So I'm like, oh, well, props to him. He handled it actually really well, really, really well. Like, when you look at the video, you're like, oh, this is going to spin out of control, and he fucked up, but he did not fuck up. He did it. He did really well. He's a pro, dude. That guy, like, especially when it comes to sitting in the pocket there, and when things could go wrong, you could lose a crowd. He looked like he didn't sweat at all.
I thought that I was going to click on it and that I was going to be offended, because when I'm looking at the response on Twitter, there's so much anger coming from different people on Twitter
really?
That I'm like, oh, like this sounds like it's gonna be really bad. I watched it. I didn't really think it was that out of bounds for anything that I would expect from a comic.
He was trying to be funny.
It's probably not too bad for his career. I mean, like,
it's not. It's
Tony
good.
Hinchcliffe had that thing going in Texas where he called a guy and that, I feel like, only made Kill Tony bigger. Shane Gillis, of course, the ultimate calling success story. Of all the people who have called somebody a,
we got to start saying it more. No, it doesn't hurt. Anything helps, man. It's like, it's just, bro, you can do crazy shit.
Yeah.
It only makes you bigger.
That's why today I challenged Sean Evans to a fight, basically.
Exactly.
Not exactly a fight, but
no, I know.
I decided, when I see the breakup, I'm like, I need to go wrestler mode, and I'm going to tell him that he needs to apologize for breaking a porn star's heart on Valentine's Day.
So say Sean Evans goes like this. All right, you know what? F it. I want to come on your podcast, and I want to chicks on your show.
That's what I told him he needed to do to make things right in the universe.
And you would you would do that.
If Sean Evans wants to make his porn debut, for sure he could do that. Yeah,
I thought that would be your answer.
That would be great. Yeah, let's do that. That's an incredible idea.
Would he use hot sauce as lube?
I think so. And also,
hot ones.
I'm even thinking of shaving my head to let him know I'm serious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we could both lube our domes. I mean, do you think he's like full on bald, or do you think that he chooses to live that life?
I can't make a call on that one.
Oh, I actually thought he had.
I don't know much about the guy.
Maybe if I think of him, he's got a little. He's got hair, but maybe not. Yeah.
Because if you're a dude who chooses to shave your head, you have two choices. You can either keep it so shaved at all times that nobody ever even really gets to glimpse where the stubble is coming up, so they can't tell if you're balding or not, or you just kind of let it rock, because you basically are going to have to shave your head almost every day if you want to.
Horrible.
I mean, okay, he's got a bit of a widow's peak going here, but it's not fully bald.
It's honestly a good bald head. Like that's, if I was balding, that's the shape head I would want.
It's like a Jason Statham kind of look.
Yes, it is. I mean, I would say for me, if I was balding, I would have the worst shaped head. Like my head is long and shit. It would be bad as.
We both have similar heads and faces, kind of prominent noses.
Yeah. We got the same face, bro.
Yeah. Same face.
So, I feel like, Adam, you have like the most psychological armor when it comes to posting controversial shit, getting personal on the internet. I mean, obviously, your stunt last June or May or whatever is the best example of that. But yeah, I feel like me and Chris are a little bit more like, I'm not ready to post a clip of me making a George Floyd joke and then taking all the heat from that.
I don't think I am ready to make a George Floyd joke either. I definitely don't want that smoke, but I'm also not going to like jump into the category of people that are like, oh, look at David Lucas getting some shit. Well, bro, why don't I get in on this? I'm going to tell him he's not being the right kind of black guy.
Yeah.
You're supposed to not make that kind of joke. Aha! I'm not going to do that.
David Lucas is again in Texas, the Texas-based guy. Like
he's in Texas and here, I think.
Okay,
I'm supposed to interview him soon. I don't know if you want to get down on that.
Yeah,
he's a good dude. Precedent. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
See what his take on double vaginal is.
He's just his thing is he and I believe this dude. Like you should be able to make a joke about anything. You should be. and it's up to the audience if it's funny or not a lot of the time. And if they don't think it's funny, then, oh, you fucked up. But it doesn't mean, bro, how about, like, dude, we live in a world where they get mad at the comedians for saying the things that are actually being done. You don't need to hold the comedians accountable. Hold the people fucking accountable who did the shit that we're talking about. You know, it's just weird, man. It's weird.
Because if you, as an audience, if you wanted to make David Lucas have a bad night, you would sit there and you would boo when he made the jokes that you didn't like. Walking out, it doesn't really do that much. You're now creating an audience that is going to go along with whatever jokes that you didn't like in the first place. If you were to sit there and kind of boo and not be into it, not laugh, you'd be having more of an impact on what he's up there trying to do, right?
That's true, yeah. That's true.
But I guess if you're so offended that you can't bear to sit there and listen to it, like what is the joke that a comedian would be able to make that would make you so uncomfortable that you wanted to walk out of there?
It'd be tough for me.
Do we even have that?
It'd be, especially with my new alt-right haircut, it'd be pretty tough to walk me.
You'd be the only one left.
I feel like it's
just speak on it, brother.
More, go harder.
Lesbian haircut is what I'm going with. I don't know.
It's a little lesbian. Yeah, so Chris, I've been doing stand-up for a year now, which I know you probably secretly fucking hate me.
No, I don't.
Thank you, Chris.
You gotta start somewhere.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not.
He's also been doing it way longer than a year, and he's saying that because he feels like he's been taking it more serious for a year.
No, it's been about a year that I've been doing stand-up, but we've been doing YouTube videos out in the street. Like, that was my eating shit, and I still eat shit on stage too sometimes too. But that gave me like a little bit of a head start in terms of comedy, because like I mean I've had to like walk into a laundromat and be funny at 9 a.m.
That absolutely gives you a leg up for sure.
Sure. So, but like I was feeling out the whole stand-up thing, and like for the most part, like it's gone pretty smoothly. But there have been times where my crowd work is so aggressive, and the set will descend into like a 10-minute shit talk battle that's like really personal and fucking ugly. Like, that's my version of a George Floyd joke. Though, like, about half my set is about George Floyd, but my audience is kind of, they're trained to like that stuff.
Wait, is it really?
No, I don't have any George Floyd jokes.
But that's you figuring it out too. Like, it depends on what you want to do and what your goal is. If it's to make people laugh, then you'll figure it out. But you need to do those things to get to the part where you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know. If you don't cross the line, how do you know where it is?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, it's in stand-up, there is like no more painful, visceral learning experience than bombing in stand-up. Yeah. It's like, I know that's what you love about stand-up. It's like the most immediate feedback. Yeah. It's not like, you send your resume out to a bunch of jobs and you don't hear back. You hear back quick when you're up on stage.
Yeah.